Shall we call the order?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start.
Being accurate, right?
Yeah. Approval of the agenda. Does everyone think this is okay, what we have down?
Looks good to me.
Okay. And now it's,
Do we need to say anything about the shindig? Talk about that? Add that,
that's
or-
gonna come down, new business.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I have it, I guess.
Okay.
Acknowledge, yeah, my throat. Acknowledge guests.
Hey, Curtis.
Minutes of the previous meeting. Okay, that was June 22nd. We have 7 members now. And we'll have to, at this meeting today, we have to find a chairman, vice chairman, secretary, treasurer, the Chautauqua program. We will sell tickets July 2nd. Brandy and Rita and Marilyn will try to find one more helper, but I didn't find them. They were all gone. Talk about the performances that will appear at the Chautauqua building. And we couldn't do it. We will do it again. Free popcorn, $1 for water or a lemonade. We had 5 scholarships from the Simon Estes concert, and we said no to be in the parade this year, and suggested to talent in the future. Talk to Kay Martin and the young violinists. We'll talk about that. Talk about future young performers. Report on Brandy, on our financial. Do you have any information on our finances? I said. Okay. We talked about T-shirts. Maybe the members of our group. We just talked about things to do at the SAC fair, and that didn't work out because of things just. And then I have a question mark by Opera Iowa. Does anyone know what we were talking about?
That was one of those possible shows that we're going to get to come to the community or come to the school.
Okay. I didn't write enough down about that.
Okay.
And
That's it?
I think that's it, if it's
Okay.
okay.
So do we need approval of the minutes?
I think probably we do.
Okay.
Do we approve the
I
minutes?
so move.
I'll second it.
Okay. How many raise your hand if you approve? Even though I didn't remember what that one thing was. Financial report, I really don't have that at the moment.
There weren't any claims this month,
Okay.
So we're clear with that?
Okay. So we'll just leave it in business, old business, young artist con. Ray, do you want to talk about that?
The Young Artist Concert, that's in
Oh,
connection with
that
was the Simon Estes Educational Foundation. And I had this on here because I did talk to Paul Ferrone again.
Okay.
And he needed a letter. They were trying to update their website, and we're going to get some grant money to do it, but they needed letters of support. So I wrote him a letter of support from the Sac City Arts Council, and I just wanted to pass this around to you guys and make sure that was...
This is a letter of support for the young,
Well,
the young artist concert.
It was for the Simon Estes Education
Okay.
Foundation because they are trying to get some additional funding to make their website better, and they needed to have, like, one of the stipulations of their grant was to get communities that have participated in the Simon Estes concert to get them to write letters of support. So if you guys want to read that, that's what I sent him. And he and I talked about dates, and he needs a date as soon as possible. If we're going to do the Young Artist Encore performance, they need to get that on their schedule. And so that's going to mean, I think we all agreed that we wanted to do that, but
Not now.
not now. We're kind of still recovering, so maybe in the springtime. So what that's going to require is that someone contact the school to find out possible dates. And I don't know who does scheduling again. Last year I talked to Larry Tillinghusen. I don't know if he's still the one that we would talk to or not, but I can call and find out who to contact about possible dates, because they are, right now, they probably have the schedule for the school done, almost done already.
I'm sure, yeah.
So it's one of those things that if we want to do it, we know we need to get some possible dates. So I don't know what everybody's thinking, like what month to ask to them about. Probably need to talk about like a general time frame.
Okay. What was the cost of bringing them again?
$2,500.
Okay.
And he said that performance would be just like the Simon Estes performance, but
Minus.
a day longer and minus the big guy.
Minus Simon.
So it's going to be probably 2 performers. You know how we had one? We had Renee Rapier. So it would be an accompanist like Jody Goebel. It'll be another person playing the piano, and then there will be 2 performers. And they will do just like Simon did. They'll go and talk to the kids at the school, and they can also do workshops. He said that they would do like a way more involved process with the kids, where they would actually get the choir together and perform with them, and do workshop type things. So
That's all didn't do. They would come, do a kind of a workshop,
yes.
then do a performance.
Yep, he said it would be in the reverse. So it would be they would do the workshop for the kids
The day
first.
before.
They would sing with them and get them ready, which Simon didn't do this last time because he couldn't do that, I guess. But they'll rehearse with them, and then they'll do the performance the next day. So it'll be a 2-day thing again, but it'll be real intense with the kids the first day, and then the second day would be the performance.
I would like to specify that we also have Sally Nellis's group of students, because she was so good with the last group, and he had never worked with that age group before, but he was very willing to. And
I think it would be at the middle school. It would be at the
Okay.
middle school.
Okay.
So,
All right.
my question, do we want to do this group, or do we want to bring in a different group? Are we in an either-or situation, or can we afford to do both? Because we talked about bringing a different group or other groups. Would we be able to?
Rather than not do his right away.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that's what we were thinking. Maybe not.
But apparently we haven't found out anything about Opera Iowa. Is that right?
I've not heard anything. I'll contact them again,
But
but
at this point, it's not an either or, we simply don't know.
contacting, I think having Opera Iowa come would not be, there are other performers that would be available.
Okay.
That would not, so I don't think finding someone is going to be the challenge.
Eulenspiegel Puppets was another option. They could come do a residency with the kids in the schools and do a big puppet show, and they were really great at the library. They'd be fantastic, but so that
And
is
how
an
much
option.
do they charge? Do you know? Remember?
It depends. For
Okay.
summer reading, they charge $500, but we got that Iowa Arts Council grant, and this group should apply for that. If we try to get them or someone that can perform with that's on their list, on Iowa Arts Council's list, it's a great deal. I mean, the application's very easy, and it's a matching grant, so you'd have to come up with half of the cost, but they'll match up to 50%. And it's well worth it. I think, and they started the new year, the new cycle of funding on July 1st.
Oh,
So, and the great thing about like Eulenspiegel Puppets is that they can, like every performance they do, you could apply for a separate Iowa Arts Council grant. So you can get more than $500. You could get more than $250. You could get up to $500 if you had them at 2 places in the
Two different
community.
buildings, so at the elementary and at the middle school.
Right, so for each school, you could apply for a separate grant for each one. So, yeah, so it's,
Okay, but we're looking at considerably less money to bring them,
yes.
and then even possibly another group. But don't we have the funding? I thought we had enough funding that we thought we could do several different things.
You could.
how much do we have from the city right now? One?
Well, the started all over. I mean, the new fiscal year started July 1st,
Yeah, that's
so
what I thought, 1,500?
it's $1,500 from the city. But then there's also the money that's in the trust and agency at the city.
Yeah,
And that
that's
is
right.
money that it does carry over year to year, so I don't know.
I
They'll
don't
have to
know
give
what
us
she has
a
either.
printout of that, what's in that fund.
Okay,
The other thing we're going to need to be conscious of is just the academic school year. You know, often schools are asked to, I mean, we can't interrupt their academic schedule.
right.
True, but if we contact them, find out when we can work in.
Yeah. Do you guys have a time frame that I should ask him about? Like, or are we thinking April again
For,
for the young artist performance?
okay. I think we need to, yeah.
See what the school.
Just see what they say.
Would you like me to just mail you a complete schedule of the school's
Um,
activities this year?
You
I
can.
tried to get it.
Are they? Is it done?
After the meeting, I'll just email it to you.
Okay, that's
That'd be
great.
great.
Because yeah, you have to watch all the, like last year with Simon Estes, it was hard to get past the, there were a lot of concerts that they did, and then the school went on that trip to San Antonio, and then there were ball games, and it was hard to find a date last year, so.
Yeah.
And then you throw in the academics and testing that they're required to do. I mean, it's going to be hard, so.
Are we going to be restricted more by what the young artist schedule is or by the school schedule?
By the school.
The school schedule. we
Because
are.
Paul said that they would try to accommodate us whenever we could get, because they know it's hard to get around the school schedule, so. He just said he needed some possible dates. and
Okay,
they
so
would-
we just need to get a hold of the school.
Yeah, and he said as soon
Get
as possible.
Some possible dates. and-
Did he tell you how much was given to each one of the people that got the
No.
scholarships? He wouldn't tell you. We have 5 scholarship
He
winners.
said they ranged from, he told me the range. He
Oh.
wouldn't tell me how much they got.
Like what was the range, do you remember?
It was like 1,000 to 2,000.
Because if they would have given each one, it would have been 1,500 to each one of them.
I don't know, he wouldn't tell me, and I was like, okay.
That's
I
interesting.
know. It's weird, but
That's interesting.
So we need to investigate the Young Artist Concert a little more.
Mhm.
Okay. I guess, my thought is if we can only do one, and I don't want to, since we did the music last year, I like the idea of doing something else. And if that's the puppets, that's okay. I mean, because if our goal is to present different forms of theater, different performances to students, some of them don't care for music, some of them don't care for
Okay,
opera.
but who is it that's establishing we can only do one?
I'm used to having us being with a very limited budget, so that's part of where I'm coming from.
Okay.
So
Money-wise, that's not our restriction here, right? So.
Time-wise,
What
yeah.
is our?
Yeah, time-wise, it might be. Okay, I can talk to Denny and find out, what they'd be willing to do.
As far as
Because
him giving us dates that we
yeah.
have one or
Right.
the other or both.
If they'd be willing to do two different activities. Okay, I'll talk to Denny
One in the
about
fall, one in the spring, maybe.
that. Okay.
Are you going to approach him with that idea that we would like to do a couple things
Yes.
and see if he can give us a couple of dates,
Okay.
a couple of different timings?
And we're talking at the elementary and at the middle school both. Okay. I'll contact Denny about that. All right, so we can go on. All right.
And then the puppet show.
Yeah,
I contacted Lisa Laird, who did the Pockets Full of Fun, the puppets, the year before last. 'Cause everybody said, at the
We
last
liked-
meeting, everybody said they loved her, and the kids loved her a lot more than the lady last year, even though I thought she was good last year. I thought she was a little
did
over their
okay.
head.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as the year before, I don't think.
And Lisa Laird said she could do any date that we wanted that whole weekend. And so the question that we have to think about, and I contacted Laura Zimmerman at Chamber, and she doesn't know when they're going to do Beggar's Night yet, because Halloween's on a Monday night.
Okay.
Oh.
So I was like, well, let me ask some parents here at the library what they would prefer, if they'd prefer to get their kids dressed up one time and go to the, to the museum and then trick or treat afterwards. And I don't know if anybody has any thoughts about that, but she was going to talk to John Thompson and see when, the police department would prefer to do it. And I don't think that they will care what night. Traditionally, they've done it on the 31st, I think. So
That would be a
she
Monday night.
Lisa said she could do it that night if that's the night that everybody agrees to, but.
Or like a Friday night would probably be a football game or something, and
And then it's still a school night, and if you did it on Sunday or you did it on Monday, it's still going to be a school night. So
yeah, it would.
But it gets over with, the program last year got over before twilight, didn't it? I mean, we always
It
tried to
wasn't
get
very
done
late. It wasn't.
before it got dark. Or right when it was getting dark, I think. And that way they're all dressed up and don't have to do it twice.
Right.
So right now, we think that the trick or treat is going to be on the 31st.
And then I thought, well, what would they prefer? Because we've had the businesses sponsor the buildings before. Would they prefer, it might be hard for them to get there right after work at 5. Well, I can't remember what time we started before.
It was at 5.
It was at 5. That's what I thought. It was 5, and then we started the performance at 5:30.
And we had the stories from 5:36, and then 6 to 6:30 we opened the trick-or-treating again. So 6:30 it was over with.
I remember it being before it got dark. Just kind of getting
Because
there, but not quite.
So, do we need to vote to decide the 31st? or
Okay,
does that
since you're
sound
the only
good?
one with the little one, I mean, which would
I would prefer just to get it dressed up once
one
and not have to worry
one
about
fell
it.
swoop and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. I mean,
Two batches of candy is too many anyway. So one night would be better.
yeah, 2 nights of Hyper Kid is maybe too much, but
But we need to coordinate it with
It
the
needs to be
city.
coordinated.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
so if you want me to, I can just find out when they're going to do Beggars Night, and then we can.
So if
I can
Beggars Night,
confirm it.
if Beggars Night were to end up on Sunday night, then we would do it Sunday night.
Yeah.
I like okay. So we're going to do it on Beggars Night, okay.
Makes it more of an event, I think, too. A Halloween event if they have trick or treating afterwards.
And so then, if you check that out for sure, then you would call her and get her connected.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
We just need to vote to approve it. Well, I'll make a motion that we do that on Beggars Night.
Okay. Everyone say,
And second, I'll second it.
Everyone agrees, raise their hand. Okay, we got it. This is old business that I just thought maybe for some of you that haven't been on this for a while, I thought of the things we've done in the past.
Yeah, we talked about that last time,
And this person over here put me on the first year we had Arts Council, and I don't know how long ago that was. You came back from a meeting and thought we needed to have one, so it's been a while.
Been a long time.
Yeah, it has. I think I was younger. But some of the things that we've done, and a couple of things they didn't like us doing this, but a memorial for Ron Nelson at the museum at the gazebo, which we like. 2 cemetery walks, backed a group of students for a play that they went to either Des Moines or Ames. I can't remember. We paid for the, not the tickets. I think we paid to get them there. Money to support local students that got to go in the summertime, and they said, no, we can't do that anymore. Remember when Ken Irwin
Yeah,
was going to be
yeah.
able-
But we did some donation, we did
But
a
we,
donation.
our group did
Yeah,
it
we did
that
our
time, but we're not
donation.
going to do that again. And we used to send Valentine's to servicemen, men to the Chautauqua Day parades, but many times. Poetry Alive, grade school students, and we bought books of poetry for the grade school just about that time. Storyteller at the museum at Halloween, programs at Chautauqua during the 4th of July. We've done that for 104 years. Burma Shave signs that we just put up. Sac City Council ad on folding board. What is that called? What kind of board is that?
Sandwich board.
Oh, sandwich board. I couldn't think of that word, and I was hungry at the time too. Money to Mavis Sims for quilts for the service people. Film Honestly Abe, Simon Estes concert and 5 scholarships. Sell tickets to the Chautauqua programs, events this summer at the Chautauqua, and have 2 more coming up. And do you want to talk about that now, Marie?
I can. I'll talk about our next one at the Shindig at the Chautauqua. It's going to be the Stereo Fidelics, August 14th. Performance begins at 2. Bring a lawn chair. They describe themselves with a funk indie groove.
Say that again.
We don't know what that means.
Indie groove.
Okay.
So, and they have a website that I'd encourage you to check out. I'm anxious to have them come. They did contact me. They are in need of a PA system. I've done a little searching, and I've got one I think that somebody's going to allow us to borrow. So Todd Partridge is going to help us out, so that's something that so I'm anxious to have him come. Would like to see, more people there, so if you could come and bring a friend, that would be fantastic.
Bring a fan or two.
Bring a fan, yeah, it was needed.
We sat right underneath the fan, it was quite comfortable, wasn't it?
You know, those fans really do help.
Yes,
They really do.
But I would encourage the Arts Council to come and bring a friend or a group of friends
Yeah,
if they can,
that's
so.
true. And I think the people that run the Chautauqua building, that Mr. Quayle,
They're doing a
does an
fantastic.
excellent job.
They're doing a fantastic
And I've
job.
worked with him over 2 or 3 years or whatever long, and he's so positive.
They're
It's
doing a
worth a lot.
fantastic job, so, okay, that's good.
Okay. New business? Or do we have any other old business before we go on? New business is election of officers, and if I'm correct, then it's supposed to be vice president, chairman, vice chairman, and I don't know if the secretary and treasurer are 2 different, or do they go together?
What's that?
Secretary, treasurer.
I think we would probably put it together, but I don't know. So that
I don't know
answers
that.
that.
How would you like that? Secretary treasurer?
I don't know if I can,
Yeah,
because I'm a
she's
non-voting
not,
member.
she's a non-voting member.
She doesn't get to vote, yeah.
Well, that's no fair.
I know it. Anyone have suggestions for any of these?
I'll move that Marilyn be the chairman, and vice
Okay.
chairman there, and secretary treasurer there.
No, I really don't want it. I really don't.
I don't, well, I'm sure you're tired of me as being chairman.
We'll make it every year though, see, and then
Okay, move it around. What, some other thoughts before we do some voting on this?
Do we have enough members to fill all those positions?
We should, because we
Okay.
have
who else is on that?
Milo,
Cheryl Gary,
Cheryl,
and
Gary, and
Renee.
Renee
Stroud.
Stroud, and their job keeps them from coming. It's that simple. They would like to be here, I know. My thought was that since Ree now has a job in Sac City, Iowa, maybe she'd like to be the chairman. That's my thought.
You can conduct a meeting, can't you?
I can conduct a meeting. I can do that, yeah.
Well, I'll just move that we nominate Renee. I mean, Bree is,
Ree?
Bree is, yeah.
I really don't want secretary.
No, we're just voting
We're
on
doing
the
the-
chairman.
We're doing
Okay,
chairman
all right,
now.
all right.
Okay.
All
I'll
se-
second it. Nomination cease and unanimous ballot be cast. Can we do that?
Sounds like
As long
it's
as she'll
okay
take
with
it.
me. You think you'll do it?
I'll
Okay.
do it, yeah.
What about vice chairman?
Okay, now I'm changing my mind.
What do I change it to?
Rita wants to be vice chairman?
Yeah, I'll do vice chairman.
Okay.
Everyone agreed, Rita? No one's fighting it? We're a pretty casual group.
Mhm.
Secretary, treasurer, that's the
That's the one nobody wants.
That's the
Yeah.
hardest one of the whole.
Do they need to be separated?
I don't know.
Okay, here's my question is,
Okay.
could you do treasurer and then you be secretary?
Can, if I would do secretary if a non-voting member can do that.
Oh, I think so,
I
because
mean,
you
I just
wouldn't-
can't vote on anything.
You can't vote on anything. Well,
We just wouldn't allow you to vote.
Yeah.
Well,
I
but,
think
and
that
then the
sounds good.
funds also, I mean, the funds, the money portion of it.
That would get that out of there.
Okay, so we're thinking Brandy
Would you be willing to do that? Okay,
as secretary
okay.
and Earl.
Can you do the
as-
money portion?
Yeah.
All right. money. Okay, should we vote on it? Everyone's agreeing, it seems like no one's disagreeing with us. Like I said, we're a casual group, but we let each other know when we aren't happy with something.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Do you know how much money they took in for the last one down to Chautauqua Valley? Did he count it, anything before he left?
I gave it to him, I mean Brandy and I gave it to him, and we
Okay.
didn't count it.
Okay.
Just from the looks of it, though, it looked like it was several $100s.
I think so too, if they all,
There were a lot of 20s, so it seemed
Yeah.
like he did pretty good.
Good.
But still was disappointed with the turnout.
Yeah.
But it was really hot.
It was
it
incredible.
was
It was
hot, there's no
ridiculous.
noise
Now,
on it.
yeah. So, so far we've been averaging 20 to 30 people approximately, so
I
it's,
think I counted 28 the last time and about 30 the first time. And the first time we had a conflict with the open house out at Hague.
so, but I really would encourage everyone to come and bring a friend, a group of friends. It'd be fantastic, so.
Any other business?
Do we need to vote on the people, or did we?
Oh, did we vote?
I don't think we
Did
did.
we all agree that people have their, I wrote it down, but it's in pencil, so I could erase.
No.
Well, we could have a motion. Slate of officers.
Would be Ree for chairman, Rita for vice chairman, secretary would be Brandy, and treasurer would be Earl. Everyone agree?
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Any other business that we have?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I wish we could have more people. And the list of things the Arts Council has done over the years, can you think of something I missed? Because I'm sure I missed something.
I think we're good.
We've
Yeah.
done a lot of good things, and like I said, they wouldn't let us give any money to students that were doing talented things in
No.
the summer, and that didn't seem fair to me, but
We're doing a lot of good things now, though, so.
to open it up to the students, yes, I like the live performance stuff.
So-
Kids don't get to do that much, it's all.
Run it by me again. What was the problem? The things they didn't approve that we did?
I don't know what it was, the cities, do you know?
It was
Okay.
considered a gift. You get this, the auditors would
gift.
flag it if there was-
Since we're a city entity.
Since the Arts Council was formed by the city of Sac City, if you gave a donation to an individual, it would be considered a gift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, these are
Because we
students that
giving
were-
it
that
to
were
the student
going
directly.
abroad
We
with a
weren't
group.
paying their fare.
Right.
It was like a donation.
Yeah, it covered a donation. I mean, they were gonna go, they were gonna be able to do it no matter what, but we just thought since it was art, we should give them some money to cover some of their expenses, and it said no. So then for the last one that we did, so now if it comes up again, we just have to say no.
Well, we could, technically, we can raise funds to donate, but you have to go through the community foundation, not the city.
Okay,
So there's no stipulation through the community foundation that you
Okay.
can't do something like that if you had a fundraiser for an individual or a group that was art
Which was kind of
related.
how
Which is
Simon
what it
Estes,
was.
that's how we did Simon Estes.
Right,
was
Simon
through
Estes
that.
was through this community foundation because technically we had to have a fiscal agent that wasn't connected to the city because there are so many restrictions. Like the city, you can't even submit, they can't pay for food.
yeah, we found
That's
that
another thing, is
out.
that you can't claim it because the auditors would flag it. It'd be a mark against the city in their annual audit, that public funds went to buy food. So they have all these stipulations you
They
can't do.
buy food.
For an event?
They buy food.
Well, at the library, we buy food for our programs, but we have a board we're a board-managed department. So that's how we can do that.
Between
Who's the
Simon
city
Estes.
administrator anyway? I mean,
You
after all,
know him?
Okay. Are we good? When's our next meeting?
If you want to list it, some of the other things that you've done
Oh.
when you started out, we had a violinist and we had the Army band out here, or the Air Force band one time.
That'd be cool.
And
Is
they-
that-
Band.
Was that through the Arts Council?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the violinist?
Yeah, there was a trio of three of them, I can't remember
Oh,
what it
yeah.
was.
Okay,
It was back a long time ago. but-
well, that's, oh, the next meeting will be August 20, I think it said the 17th. Got a tiny calendar. Yeah, 17th of August.
Same place?
I hope
We'll
we
get the
bigger
bigger
room.
room next time.
Do you have any pool?
Do you know anyone that works there?
Okay, so August 17th, 4:30 time slot.
Sounds good, does that work okay for you? I wish our other people could be available, but I understand their
Would
job.
that help, Cheryl, any if we
We're
went
gonna move it to
later?
5:30. I'll talk to her.
Well, and also, what's her name, the other one?
Renee?
Renee.
Renee,
I think
because she works, I think, until at least 4.
She does. It might help her.
So what time do you want to move it to?
let me talk to
I
Renee.
think Renee
Oh.
works till 4:30.
Maybe so. I thought I called out there about 4:15.
Let's do it 5:30. I'll just call it 5:30 right now.
At 5:30?
5:30.
Okay.
We can't pay for food, so we have to eat.
We have to bring our own.
Bring your brown bag,
There
right?
you
Yeah.
go.
Violin group will be here, I think, and they can serenade us.
Ooh,
Okay, so we're done?
that's right, they do come to practice something. They tried to get them for the 4th of July, but I think, I know the little violinist, what's his name? They were going to be gone, and she is involved in the adult one. And I think that's probably what it was, but I do think we had too short a program at the Chautauqua Building on 4th of July.
No, but most of our standard people that were usually in it were not available.
I know,
so.
but I think I gave a couple suggestions. But anyway, that's it.
Yeah, and
That's
we
good.
tried several people and they weren't available, so.
Yeah.
It's hard to coordinate anything
Oh,
anymore,
yes.
really. And we're getting smaller. and,
Yep.
you know,
True.
Okay, so adjourn at 5 PM, is that right?
Sounds good to
I
me.
think that sounds good to me. We did a pretty good job. Thank you, for those that are here. Okay, this off there, look at it. Oh, I bet it's still warm out. I just have a feeling.
Well, it's gonna get cold tomorrow.
Just in the middle
It'll
90s?
be 86
You're
tomorrow.
gonna be
Oh, really?
86.
Yeah, 86.
I heard it was still in the 70s. Okay, I mean the 90s. I haven't listened to it.
It's fun to
Oh.
drive around town and look at everybody's yards that haven't been mowed. Nobody wants to mow right now.
Get your sweaters out
Or
then.
weeded.
Or weeded.
That's me, I don't want to weed.
How's your
Too big
air
on.
conditioner working good?
Here? Working great.
Yeah, it seems like it's comfortable in here.
Everybody comes in and they're like,
I bet they do that everywhere they
they
go.
stay a long time.
Spend a little more time here today.